The last few months when we come to the synagogue on Shabbos and we listen to the Torah being read, it's very, very dramatic. We start off with the story of Adam, the flood, Avram Avinu taking that trip to Eretz Yisrael, Yitzchak, the miraculous birth of Yitzchak, Yaakov, the 12 tribes, the tension between Joseph and his brothers, the descent into Egypt, a lot of drama, and finally the Exodus, Yetzias Mitzrayim, very, very exciting stuff, and the splitting of the sea. And around this time is when the drama takes a precipitous drop, and it becomes, week after week, we start learning details, minutiae, a lot of details, and particularly this week's portion is all the many, many details of the way that the Mishkan, which was the home, the tent that was built to house the presence of Hashem, that the way that the Mishkan was built, the different vessels, the different placement of the vessels, the different materials that each vessel was made of, and the curtains and the walls and the beams and the hooks, and every single detail is expressed. And it's interesting when you watch people listen to the Torah being read. So some people are, generally maybe people don't know Hebrew, or spacing out, or trying to hang in there with the reading of the words. Then there are some people that you see, like in the first part, the sin of Adam, the flood comes, you see them shaking and shuckling, they're involved. Around this time, last week's parsha, this week's parsha, you see the interest just drops off. This is 20 amas, this is this tall, this is this, and this should be made out of this, and this should be made out of that. And I want to suggest to you tonight that the drama continues. And that if we know how to read, we would see that every single portion is full of tremendous drama that's very relevant to us. So in the main room of the Mishkan, there were 3 vessels. The Shulchan, the Mizbeach, the Menorah. The Shulchan was a table upon which the Lechem HaPanim, the special bread that was baked on Erev Shabbos, was placed. A miracle took place that it stayed warm from one Friday to the next, and then it was eaten by the Kohanim, by the priests. The next one, the Mizbeach, the altar with the various limbs of the different offerings, all in the appropriate way. We'll get to those parshias, exactly how they were placed onto the altar and burned. The third one, the third keli, is the menorah. The menorah, as we know, that's the one that we know the best. It didn't have 8 branches, it had 6, but the menorah was lit each day by the Kohen Gadol, and the 6 branches with the 7th, the actual base of the menorah. So it was 7 candles lit all together, and that was the third one. The Shulchan, the Mizbeach, the menorah, the table, the altar, the menorah, and it's with tremendous detail, with intricate detail. The truth is that if we think about it, we can discover that this map, the Shulchan, the Mizbeach, the Menorah, is a map of our own bodies and of our own experience. And we can draw from each one of these kelim lessons for how we should connect to that area of our experience. The Menorah, which has lights lit, and we know, even in English, we say, we use the light bulb when somebody thinks of something, and we talk about someone who's enlightened. And we talk about the dark ages. Light and dark represent wisdom, right? Someone who's enlightened, someone who, and then a light bulb went on, right? That represents wisdom. That represents our intellect. It represents our neshama. It represents the ability of our minds to reach and to achieve something greater. Animals only think about what's in front of them, their next meal. But human beings have the ability to detach and to think about things that are way beyond ourselves. We can think about Hashem, and we can think about worlds that we've never been to, and we can think about concepts and ideas. That's the menorah. The Shulchan is the table that has food on it, and that represents the very physical part of our life. Sitting down to a meal. And that inspires us that even in the very physical parts of our lives, we can connect to Hashem. What an unbelievable lesson. What drama. Who would have thought? I think the world thinks that spirituality belongs in the house of worship. But this house of worship teaches us that the table, the bread, that also has to do with serving Hashem. How I eat, what I eat, with whom I have a good time, with who I reach out to, how I act when I'm out there in the world in the most mundane of environments. That's the table. That's the physical, that's the mundane, and even that has a place in the Mishkan. Even that has the place in Hashem's home. And in the center, the altar. The altar represents service to Hashem. Putting things on the Mizbeach that get burned, the Ketores, the Karbonos, putting things on the Mizbeach that become consumed. It represents the idea that we have the spirituality in our lives, the intellect, the neshama, and we have physicality in our lives. What is serving what? In which direction is this going? Is the physical in my life serving the spiritual, or is my intellect and my creativity and all the genius that humanity has to offer just serving the physical? Unfortunately, if you look around the world, sometimes you see a tremendous process of the brilliance of the human mind just serving the physicality. Just all the creativity, just for our creature comforts, just to make things more fun, more pleasurable, more comfortable in this world. But the Mishkan teaches us that the direction should go in the other way. That we should take the physical gifts that we were given, our bodies, our friendships, our homes, our vehicles, our assets, everything that we have should be used to transform. Just like when that limb of an offering is put on the Mizbeach and it becomes transformed into something spiritual. When I take a quarter and I put it in the pushka, I'm doing exactly the same thing. It becomes transformed into something spiritual. When I reach out to a friend who's been having a tough time and I take him out to dinner, so we're sharing steak, but we're not really sharing steak if my purpose is to reach out and to do that kindness and to bring him to a new place and to bring him somewhere where he hasn't been before. I'm transforming something so physical into something spiritual. And that's the lesson, that's the drama, just the beginning, just the tip of the iceberg, scratching the surface of Parshas Truma when we learn about these things. And I would invite everybody, open a Chumash and just start reading and let your imagination soar, and you'll discover yourself so many different aspects to the different things I'm mentioning, and to the Aron that's hiding in the Kodesh HaKadoshim, and to every single aspect of the building of the Mishkan. We should have the opportunity to be able to not only one day visit the Holy Temple and be able to see it actually built to the specifications, but we should have the ability to be able to feel about ourselves that we've turned ourselves into holy temples, and that the presence of Hashem can rest not only in a home, but within ourselves. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.